In this video, we are going to cover a new vision model which is positioned to set a new benchmark in the field. With ongoing development of this model, it seems to be a cutting-edge multimodal LLM developed by the Kwai Keye team at the company Kaishu. As a key product of this company, this is specifically designed to excel at complex tasks involving visual data such as image and video understanding, plus visual perception and reasoning. We are going to install it locally and we will test it out on various benchmarks. This is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. First up, let's get started by installing it. I'm going to use this Ubuntu system. My GPU card is NVIDIA H100 with 80 GB of VRAM, and we will check out how much VRAM in actual this model consumes. Doesn't seem like a huge model, but we will see. So while it creates this virtual environment, if you're looking to rent a GPU on very affordable prices, you can find the link to Massed Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for a range of GPUs, so please do check them out. Okay, next up, let's install all the prerequisites, which include torch, transformer and all the tidbits, and especially this Keye-VL utilities. And then I'm launching my Jupyter notebook. So this is going to take a couple of minutes or so. Let's wait for it to finish. Meanwhile, let me introduce you to the sponsors of the video, who are Camel AI. Camel is an open source community focused on building multi-agent infrastructures for finding the scaling laws with applications in data generation, task automation and world simulation, and you will find the link to their website in video's description. And while it installs everything, let's talk a bit more about the architecture of this model. So as you can see on this diagram, it is based on Qwen 3's 8 billion language model and uses a vision encoder which is initialized from Siglib. And it supports native dynamic resolution, where it preserves the original aspect ratio of images by dividing each into 14 by 14 patch sequence. And then there is a simple MLP layer that maps and merges the visual tokens. Also, interestingly enough, this model uses 3D rope for unified processing of text, image and video information, where it establishes a one-to-one correspondence between position encoding and absolute time to ensure precise perception of temporal changes in video information frame by frame. And then they also have shared their pre-training pipeline, where they use a 4-stage progressive strategy. First one is image text matching, then they are using vision transformer to LLM alignment, and then there is multitask pre-training, and then annealing with model merging. If you don't know what is meant by annealing, just go to my channel and search with annealing. I have done a very easy to understand video on annealing, if I remember correctly. There you go. So you can just search with annealing, and I'm sure you are going to enjoy that video. Okay, so let's wait for it to launch our Jupyter notebook. Okay, so let's first download the model with the processor. And the model is now being downloaded. There are 4 shards of it. And the model is downloaded. Now let's do the inference on few of the images. So there are 3 ways you can do the inference with this model: in a thinking mode, no thinking mode, and then auto mode, which is primarily the thinking mode or default mode. So all you need to do is to just specify your image, whether from local system or a URL, and then you can just tell it describe this image or whatever you want it to do with the image, and then /nothink for no thinking mode, /think for thinking mode, and just remove it for the auto mode, which is primarily the thinking mode. So let's first try it out in the not thinking mode, and the rest of it is a usual stuff where we are encoding the input of image and text. We are using the model to generate the output with the help of these hyperparameters. We are decoding it back and printing it out. So let me run this, and I'm just going to ask it to describe this image. This is the image I'm talking about. So let's run this. And there you go, it has given me this response, and as you can see, the response is not only quite detailed but looks quite good. It is saying that image depicts a bustling urban street scene, likely in a major city. Characterized by heavy traffic congestion, the street is filled with a dense array of vehicles, cars, buses, taxis, all moving in the same direction. The vehicles are tightly packed, indicating a volume of traffic possibly during peak hours. The cars vary in color and models, so not only it is talking about the whole environment, but also what exactly is being shown in the image, what sort of vehicles there are. And then it also says that the presence of pedestrian on the sidewalks indicate that this is a very busy area with foot traffic. So the language is quite good and it is coherent, it is not breaking anywhere, and it is not repeating the stuff. And then it is talking about the overall atmosphere of where exactly this is happening, like in the large metropolitan area. And then it says that it image captures the essence of a typical day in a busy city. So this is with a no thinking one, which is again very grounded, I would say. Now let's try out the thinking mode with another image. Okay, next up, I'm giving it this image, and the prompt is that based on overhead electronic signs in the image, describe the current lane status for drivers, which lanes are closed, which is open, and are there any vehicle restrictions for open lane. And then you can see that I have given it slash think, which means that it is going to do the thinking on this one. And I think I have given it the max new token as 1024. I think I'll just change it to 224 if so that we could see more and more of the thinking. So let's run this. So it is running at the moment. Let's also check the VRAM consumption in real time. So the model is fully loaded onto the GPU. It is consuming close to 18 gig of VRAM. And while we were talking, it has also come back. That's it. So this is the thinking it has done. So it doesn't do too much thinking, which is interesting. Now it says, and I will display the image too, so that we could compare. The user now needs to analyze the information on the electronic signs. First look at the left sign. So OCR is also good, lane closed with a red X. And indicating that the left lane is closed, the middle sign says lane closed. Also has a red X, so English is quite good. So the middle lane is closed as well. So it is right sign, autos, RV, green arrow, very nice. So it means that it is open and the vehicles are allowed are this, and this. So you see, it has done the thinking. It has checked what exactly we are asking, but interestingly enough, it is not really thinking back and back and back, just like to improve it, like the reasoning models do. But that is interesting. Maybe it does it. It doesn't show us, but I don't know. So the answer is to determine the current lane status for driver. We analyze the overhead electronic sign. This is and this, and then it has correctly given which lane is open, what are the restrictions, and all that stuff. So pretty good. Okay, so that is interesting. And now let's check out the OCR stuff. So I'm giving it this paragraph with many languages from English to European languages, Hindi, Russian, and Arabic, and few others. And I'm asking it to extract the text from image and identify the language, and I'm doing the no thinking mode. So it says that the text in the image is in two languages, English and Spanish. So it didn't identify any other language, or maybe it did. Let's read further. Here is extracted test, pursuit of happiness, this, and this. And then it is talking about languages identified: English, Spanish, German. That's good. Portuguese, Chinese, Russian. Didn't mention Arabic or Hindi. So OCR is okay. And it has extracted the stuff fairly in a decent way. But this, you see, this is it has done Chinese correct, but this is also Chinese. Now if I quickly go through it, it has done, as I said earlier, a decent job, if not really perfect. I don't think so OCR is at that level yet, especially when it comes to the multilinguality, because it has missed Arabic and Hindi and few other languages. But for the rest of it, where it identifies, it has done the OCR quite well. But when we say OCR, we really don't want the commentary, because I have particularly asked it to just extract the text, which it didn't follow. So if you're looking for an OCR model, this might not be the one. I'm giving it another try to OCR. So I have given it this handwritten text, and I am asking it that just extract the text from the image. Don't say anything else in the no thinking mode. So let's check it out. Yep, now it has followed it. So we have to tinker with our prompt. It says I love handwritten letters, which is good. The way the word get jumbled up. Yep, that's right. When the writer is excited, sorry, I'm also reading it. I just want to make sure everything is correct, which looks pretty neat. You know what? Very minor mistakes, but I think all in all, it has done wonderfully well. That is good. So handwritten is good, English is good, Chinese also looks quite good to me in terms of OCR. But other than that, I think still it's not a multilingual well in terms of OCR. And in another test, I have given it this multiple choice question, and I'm asking it to read this math question and tell me which answer is correct from choices. And because it's a math one, so I am doing it in the thinking mode. And it has come back. So it is now reflecting on that question. And then it is giving us all the steps which it has done. Pretty cool. And then it has done some sort of equation there too, and it says that correct answer is A, which is correct. So pretty good in that sense of mathematical OCR and equation and understanding. Now let's check out the tabular data and if it can do the structured one. So I'm asking it that to describe the first table in the image, there are two, and then convert it into JSON format. And it has done doing it. Let's check it out. So yes, it has given the correct title of that table, and then it is telling me what exactly it is doing. It says it is comparing the performance of 3 models in terms of tokens. Is it 3 models or 2 models? There are 2 models. I think it has got it wrong. Other than that, it is talking about 70 billion and then 671 billion. Some of it has gotten right, but I think it has mixed a few things. But other than that, overall looks quite good. But I'm more interested in this JSON format. So look at this. This one, I think it has done wonderfully well, but let me check closely. So a few mistakes here and there, but largely I think it has tried well there. So I will take it as a success in terms of structured. But I think there are a few mistakes at the table recognition, but it did a passable job. And now let me show you how you can do the video inference with it. So this is a video. This is an AI generated video, which I created some time back. So there are 2 kangaroos, as you can see, in the boxing ring. Okay, so let me run this in real time. So it is primarily just doing describe this video, same message format, and then we are encoding the input, we are decoding it back, and it has given us the answer. So fairly quick, and the same amount of VRAM because the model is fully loaded onto the GPU. And it is talking about the question asks for a description of video, straightforward, as it involved observing and describing the visual content. And no think is more appropriate. Yes, the video features 2 kangaroos standing on a stage facing each other. Both kangaroos are wearing boxing gloves. So very nice. So see, there are also some audience. Lighting is focused on kangaroos, so it is capturing the whole movement there. Okay, in the next video, I am giving it this again, another AI generated video where this baseball batter or player is holding this bat. I'll just play it again. Now I'm asking the model if this player is holding the bat right. If yes, then how? If not, then why not? And then it is to just tell us about the technique if it gets it right. And if you are the baseball player or enthusiast, please also advise in the comment that if the model is right or not, and what do you think about this video. Okay, so let's check it out. So it says that I now need to, and I gave it the thinking mode, by the way, and it is talking about it that okay, it needs to check it out. What happened there? I think I would just need to increase this max token, so I have increased it. Let me rerun. I just want to make sure that we check out the full answer. Let's wait. And now it has given us big answers. Wow, it's a full answer. So let's check it out. It is talking about that if it is holding the bat correctly. First, the question asks whether the player is holding the bat correctly. So it is understanding the question that what is a dominant hand and all that stuff. And I'm not a, I don't know much about baseball, so I would take your advice on it. And then it is also checking about to confirm I need to check all the aspects of the grip. Very nice. So thinking finishes here. Now this is the answer. In the video, the baseball player is holding the bat with both hands, with the right hand positioned above the left hand, gripping the bat handle firmly and correctly. The bat is held horizontally at approximately shoulder height, with the player's body balanced, feet positioned properly, and the eyes focused forward. Overall, confirming to the standard batting posture in baseball game. So it's a yes, that it is holding correctly. Very nice. So, but if you are the baseball player or enthusiast or fan, please let me know in the comments. But look, I think pretty good model in terms of images and video, not bad at all. Overall, I would really give it high marks, but let me know what do you think. Please like the video and share it, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.